Good afternoon, people. Uh, Damn, school hasn't even started yet, and already there was a school shooting today. I don't know if a lot of people on YouTube or people that I listened to earlier this afternoon or early this morning realize it. I didn't realize it myself until like maybe 30 minutes ago, and I said I was going to come on here and say something about it. It was in Georgia. I'm just piecing it together in Burroughs County, uh, a high school there where they where four students, well, they say four people were unalived. I'll use that word because I know how sensitive things are on YouTube. Four people unalive, and I guarantee you that there are some students included in that. Nine people injured. The crazy other thing about it is that the person that did it, they have him or she, whoever they're not. Well, I think it's him in custody. But it got me to thinking that when I watched this news footage, there were kids on there giving their account of what happened. And some of them were so calm, so cool, so collected. And it's like, oh, well, we were just another victim and this went on. Now they showed those students. They didn't show the ones that were upset, probably the ones that were crying, because they said that the parents, as soon as they got the text messages, they were, distraught. So, like I said, people are we're getting, I guess, used to being on here, saying things and doing things with people, and we're not paying attention to the outside world. Let's face it, the world is becoming more and more devilish, more and more ridiculous. You know, I have footage of stuff, but I don't do it on. I'm not going to put stuff on my computer to where later on they'll come in and try to flag it and all that from the news media. But just to hear the kids talking about what happened and the way the news media approached it, now it seems like it's an occurrence that once something like this happens, you have to uh, stay calm, cool, and collected. The kids, they're high school kids and uh, junior high kids. It's a big school, big campus school that has high school and junior high school kids going there. But for the rest of the world, I just want to say that being older, I was listening on YouTube this morning and listening to a lot of crap going on. And I'm just wondering how many people here on YouTube have children and don't sit around and instead of worrying about somebody taking a damn trip, let's talk about the gun laws. Let's talk about things that are going on in our neighborhood. Good afternoon, Cheryl Burnett. Yes, I see you, dear. Yes, I'm praying for those children, and I'm also praying for the families of that teacher that, well, they also said it was a gym coach that lost his life. Uh, it's getting so now that we're so complacent with bull crap, but when stuff like this happens, it touches me. I don't give a care how it affects somebody else, but just to look at the cars filing in, parents trying to pick their kids up, they're still on the scene. They are still on the scene, and this supposedly happened at 10:30. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that. That is so true. It really a lot of things doesn't have to be the way they are, but the way that we respect life and care about people, it's always going to be the devil's workshop, the devil's playground. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what anybody says. The world does belong to the devil. We can talk about the wonders of God and the things he put around here for us, but I'm just saying the world does belong to the devil. And there are some people out there that really don't give a care. They have no feelings, no emotions, you know. And and I've been looking at it. It's all about for the love of money. The rich will get richer, the poor get poorer, and then when we try to do things right, the right way, the ones that are poor seem to catch the more slack, the more hell. Uh, there's a lot of things that I want to say about this because it kind of affect me because I was listening on YouTube to a lot of foolishness this morning, and this afternoon, early this afternoon. I'm just wondering how many parents, or if one of our YouTubers had kids at that school at that time, that they might have been up here talking trash, or do they have a relative that their child goes to that school and those things happen? Seems like to me we're more complacent on how and being the most popular for saying the most popular things. No, the unpopular things, saying the most unpopular things. But when somebody says something popular and try to give somebody credit for what they do in life, they get ridiculed. Uh, like I said before, people, I don't know. I'm just trying to wonder why and how come we as individuals or people are getting so hateful toward one another to where we're going out and just taking innocent lives. Our kids, our school kids, they're our future. you know what causes even another child to do that to a child? This media world has really showed me that you can't trust everybody. You can't say that you love everybody, because when people do stuff like this, it's hard to say that you love them as Jesus loved us. But yet, good morning. Yeah, good evening, KMB. It's hard for me to say that I love that person, you know. But I know in my heart, if I keep up all the hatred that the world is trying to put upon us and the world is trying to have us keep within us, then I will be less of a man or a person myself. I realize now that people are always going to be doing things, even after I'm gone, hateful, spiteful, despicable things on here. And for me to let it let it get me to the point to where I have a nervous breakdown, or my heart rate goes up, or I'm so angry that I have a heart attack or something. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm Like I said, I learned to adjust in my mind that one day when it's all over, the world is going to have to answer for everything, because that is the truth. The world is going to have to answer for everything. And those people out here now, even when we're here on YouTube, cussing each other out, calling each other foul, discussable names, you got people out there that are dying for no reason, losing their lives just because they're trying to get an education, trying to go to school, uh, just trying to live from day to day. I can't and I will not condone anything anytime a person harms a child. I can't do that. Um, but this shooting today at Appalachia High School in Broward County in Atlanta, in Atlanta, 4 unalive, 9 taken to the hospital. And the ironic thing about this one is the shooter, the shooter is in custody. So it might be a young child or kid, who knows? It hasn't come out. It hasn't came out yet. I noticed in the chat there, because I watched it, they had it up on YouTube. People were posting in the chat the guy's name and all this stuff, and then some people were trying to make a political ploy out of it. They were making comments about Biden and Kamala, and so we know that the trolls, and I'm gonna talk about that too later on, sometime this week. Trolls were made to create havoc. Trolls were made to uh, separate people in life. I want to say something else so bad, but I'm not going to do it. But trolls, let's face it, people. If we're on here, we know about trolls and everything. Why do we give them credit? Why do we give them credit? Oh, they said the person is 14 years old. Okay, dear, I haven't gotten that far on that yet, but I will be talking about it. Like I said, at 14, even at 14, the devil had to have his soul or something was wrong with him. You know, they're here, like I said, even on YouTube, trolls are here to divide and conquer people. And to me, that's part of the devil's workshop, that money aspect of YouTube. And let me tell you guys something. I have never, ever asked to be monetized on here. I never asked to have people send me cash apps or anything like that, because if it's meant for you, God will let you have it. God will give it to you. We shouldn't have to be up here begging people to send money for this and that. What we should be up here doing is trying to let people come together as a unit, as a world, and try to be able to sit at the table with one another and have talks and discussions. But I tell you one thing, I know one thing about YouTube and everything else that's going on. Kids today, and we don't think they don't listen. I got to tell you, I found out that my 11-year-old nephew was listening to YouTube. And I told him, if I catch you listening, I'm going to beat your behind. And I told his mama, and I'm going to beat your behind for letting them do it. You need to monitor. We need to monitor our children, y'all. We do need to monitor our kids. Parents need to check their phones, check what games that they're on their website, uh, who they're talking to, because kids, if they're not showed love or felt like they're loved, they're going to go elsewhere and do it. And these doggone apparatuses that we give them, even the gaming systems, have such violence on them now that a youngster, even at the age of 14, soaks that in. And when they see people, good afternoon, mixology, good afternoon, even their kids that are doing those, looking at these things, they become numb to when they get angry. Well, I'm going to do what they do on the video games. And we have to look at all that. We have to stop and think, what about our children? I'm going to talk about it later on. And like I said, I'm going to watch it more. I'm going to get in depth. I'm not going to try to come up here and use names on the situation. Everybody will know sooner or later. But I wish people would just pause and take a moment to look at what went on today. And when I think of it, school here hasn't been open 3 days yet. And I don't know how long it's been open there in Atlanta. But this is the first one that I've heard about already. And the year just started. Uh, just be safe out there. I love you guys as Jesus loves us, and I can say that. But I also know that now it's a fight with the devil. And what I mean, a fight with the devil, I'm not going to let you capture my soul. I'm going to say what I got to say about the things that even when people bring me up, I'm going to say it and I'm going to leave it. But there are laws. That's another thing, people. There are laws out there. We're going to get in trouble about a lot of crap here on these YouTube streets and doing things to people. AI is one of them. AI is it's going to be looked at very carefully and scrutinized when you're using people as a AI, artificial intelligence. You know, that's artificial. Anything artificial it's not real. So if you're using artificial stuff, you're not being real for yourself. You're not being real about anything. You're not being real about life. So I'm not going to be up here trying to flash anything or do anything with anybody using AI or none of that technology. I'm too old fashioned for it. I see it out there. I see it working, and I've seen how it's corrupting people already here. I've seen the things that AI people are going to do with it to try to embarrass people more here on these YouTube streets, especially in our sector where I'm from and all the other sectors. They're going to be doing things, and people are going to say, yes, that was you. That was you. No, because if the person can prove it was AI generated and you're using them to spread false rumors, lies, innuendos, your ass is going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble, period. Because the government is looking into those kind of things and all that, wanting to get out there and broadcast about family members and telling everybody about where they might work at or live at or calling a person's job to try to get them fired. That's going to be looked at too. Bullying and harassment is two things that are on the books right now in laws when it comes to internet. Social terrorism. That's what they're calling it now. Terrorism. You're terrifying a person when you talk about them, especially when they don't say a damn thing about you, you know, but yet you got to bring up their names on stuff. So, like I said, life for me is getting shorter, and I realize this. People say, "Oh hell, you don't know what you're talking about. You might live to be 100." Yeah, I could live to be 100, but that's not still not long enough. Okay, Methuselah lived way past 100. Do I want to be Methuselah? I don't think so. But I do want to enjoy life and try to be happy without people in my life or in my social circles try to make me look like I'm senile, dumb, or old or crazy. I love the party. Don't get me wrong. I have fun with people, but I also know how to stay away from gossip and turmoil all the time, all the time. And I just want to say thank you guys for coming up, listening to me for a few minutes, and hope that you'll get home and hug your child, mix out your baby. I know we have a baby in school. Uh, Pray every day. Just pray every day for your sender, because I think when things like this happen, even though I be at YouTube listening to bullshit, I see this and I just have to leave YouTube and come and look at it for myself. And like I said, people are so complacent now about this kind of bull crap. We need to talk more about things when it happens to the point that we're tired of it. And the gun laws need to be changed. Let's face it, they do need to be changed. But even here on our sector, we talk about our weapons and the things that we can do with somebody and all this crazy bull crap. Uh, I remember the day, like I heard a lot of people say it was just a fist fight, and you were still here. Nowadays, there's no such thing as a fist fight, and there's no such thing as a child going to school to be safe anymore either. They got to go through metal detectors. They got to be searched. They're looked at as objects now. Objects. They're not. They're not people. They're just a commodity, really, to make money with the education system. I'm just tired, y'all. I am just tired. But today has been one of these days where I said I'm going to start coming up live a little bit more and talking about things that upset me and the people that upset me on here. Not just to bring awareness to anything, but to bring awareness to how we treat one another on here, the things we say to one another, the way we talk about each other as a Black community. That's what's upsetting me now. And now I see we got some infiltrators coming in, and I'm not going to say or mention about infiltrators, but we know who they are. You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. The mannerisms, the way they talk, the language that they use. Our sector is not just all Black anymore. It's a cornucopia of everybody, everyone, every person that has uh, from a college degree, a PhD, down to the person that never finished high school. Good afternoon, Miguel. Good afternoon. I didn't see you guys. No, they can't even get. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I said before, kids are kids lost their lives again at another school shooting, and I'm just sick and tired of trying to figure out why we as people, we as a human race, we don't try to really come together and voice our opinions when something like this go on. But yet we want to sit up and talk about a funky, phony trip that some people took on here. And we look at the drama. We got drama unfolding every day in front of our faces when Congress makes a law that a woman doesn't have the right to control if she wants to have kids or not. We're looking at laws to where now, even in schools, even in our schools, they're taking out the textbooks and stuff. I don't know. I'm just puzzled at why people don't have more decent conversations on here about everyday life instead of YouTube bullshit. They're going to do a press conference, and I would play it, but like I said, I don't like it. That's another thing. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice, we don't have in this country. But I bet you if I was a white guy broadcasting this, they wouldn't say anything, and they know who we are, and they know what we do. I'm getting fed up with that kind of bullcrap too. But I'm gonna listen to the news thing. The sheriff is out there. He's talking about it. With that being said, thank you guys for coming in. I say, just give me a like or so if you want to. If not, hey, that's cool too. Share me out. That's cool too. But I love you all as Jesus loves you. Miguel, thank you for being here. Mixology, KMB, talent. Well, I'll be damned. I missed you on the go around talent. Preach. It's not preaching talent. It's just being me, just being a man, saying myself things that I feel, that I feel. But I thank you, talent, for listening in, buddy. That's all I can say. I'm not going to try to talk about you or anything right now because right now it's my heart is more with these kids right now. They went to school today to try to be happy, to try to enjoy life, to try to get an education and learn something. And now they're no longer here with us. So, like I said before, people, I will be back later, maybe tonight, and talk about it. Then again, I just might take a walk in the park and think about it. because a lot of times people don't want to hear what people got to say when it makes sense. That's all I'm feeling right now. That's all I'm saying. So, with that being said, Talent, thank you for being here. KMB, you guys. Uh, it's going to be a long evening. I see that right now. I'll talk with you guys later. Bye bye.